Hello, anyone who is in chat listening to this and or follows up on the YouTube at some point. We're back. This is I am Leah. I am here. If you are here, you probably know who I am. If you don't, I run TTRPGs. Otherwise, I am here with my friends and we're running a Suits game. This is a game in masks. If you are unfamiliar, which you should, if you are, go watch the other ones because this is built up a lot off of them. Otherwise, it is Mass Next Generation system. It's an apocalypse system, and our game is called S.U.I.T.S. It's set in a homebrew setting, alternate history, 2018 history diverted back in the 1960s, and we're gonna be telling a story here with my friends today. Speaking of my friends today, we'll go down the super list on the Roll20 today. So for my new recruits, Aqua, why don't you please introduce yourself and who you're playing?
Hi, I am Aqua, also sometimes known as Aqua Sylph. I'm a person most of the time, and when I'm not a person, I pretend to be one. I am going to be playing Rain, also the outsider of the group.
Yeah, outsider being one of the classes playbooks from this game that is sort of the alien type character, a character from another world or another place, finding their way here. And thank you for being here, Aqua.
Thank you for having me.
Secondly, oh yeah, of course, anytime, babe. Secondly, we have Wink, aka Noah Butler.
That's me. I'm Distortion Devil most places. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Tumblr, and Blue Sky at Distortion Devil. You can find all of my TTRPG / role-playing content over at youtube.com/devilsanddicerolls or patreon.com/devilsanddicerolls. If you feel like supporting my creative process, I just earlier today released a little bit of audio from a short that I'll be uploading at some point during the week. So yeah, check it out. It's about the peasant railgun.
Oh my god, the peasant railgun.
Oh my god, Connor.
Yep. But other than that, I will be playing Noah Butler, aka the superhero Wink, and he is the Nova.
The EP.
Mimir.
Next, roommates with Wink, Wave Index, aka Quinn Regal.
Hi, that's me. My name is Gaius Ghostpaws, and you can find me anywhere online under Gaius Ghostpaws, usually probably Blue Sky or Twitch. Even YouTube, but I don't upload there really. But today I will be playing Quinn Regal, otherwise known as Wave Index, and they are the Scion.
Hell yeah. Nextly, that's a new one. We have Aurora, aka Lucky Aurora, aka Aurora Iris Ravindra, played by our lovely Ray.
Hi, I'm Ray, also known as Key Ink and Key Calligraphy Ink on various platforms, including Blue Sky, Twitter, and YouTube. Let's see. As Leah just stated, I am going to be playing as Aurora, also known hero name as Lucky Aurora, who is playing as the Star class.
Our lovely Star. And lastly, but most certainly not leastly, the one, the only, Mr. Fix-It, the first Robert Bobber, my good friend, Ross.
Hello, I'm Ross. I'm just a guy who likes playing tabletop RPGs with their friends. And I appreciate y'all inviting me. I'll be playing Robert Bobbert, aka Mr. Fix-It, the Bull.
Wahoo. And well, that'll be it. That's our crew today. We're getting back into the swing of it, into en media res, so gonna be a bit of an exciting session. Excited to see what y'all do with it. But before we get started, let us well, let's play some music for y'all. I got a funny theme, so let's do that. We will be right back. Y'all should eat your vegetables. That's the main point that we're making today. Welcome back to
I
it.
like garbage.
Oh, you're all good. But now with that done, music's not. Oh, music's just kind of quiet. There we go.
Ah, okay.
I was wondering where my music went. It was just a little quiet. There we go. To return to our story really quickly, I really quickly want to ask a question. Just to get some logistics out of the way, where are you all at with your I keep wanting to say prestige, but potential is what I mean to say. So really quickly going down the list, Aqua, what's your potential and have you leveled up yet?
Zir, I had from before, and I was working on my next set. Potential's currently just at 1.
Potential's at 1 and you have leveled up. Okay, Wink, what about
Yeah.
you?
Give me a moment.
All good?
I'm opening my sheet. Scrolling down. And I still have 1 potential marked.
Still have 1 potential, and I think you leveled up right at the end of last session, if I remember correctly.
I believe so.
Believe so. Okay. Wave, what about you? What's your potential at, and have you leveled up?
I've leveled up once and I'm at potential 3.
Potential 3, okay. Aurora, what about you?
I've leveled up once, and I am at potential 2.
Potential 2. Fix It, what about you?
I have leveled up once, and I am at potential 2.
Leveled up once at potential 2. All right. Start of the session. Rain and Wink, both of you gain a potential.
Sweet.
Yeah. So, to recap where we were last time, after a successful first venture into the world of being a superhero, defeating the thief and villain Trash Bandit, they had returned to the Suits HQ and met up with a few different superheroes, had a chance to decompress, and since went back to their places to relax. Having a day to go about their business while their job was being recorded and while certain metrics were being taken, while their intake was still underway, the group had spread out and begun doing whatever it is that they would need to do. Relaxing, taking care of their home life, maybe going in, getting some stuff done at the independent research facility, their daily lives. But as that daily life was coming to a conclusion, an event at the Community Event Center was brought up, and a member of the group, Mr. Fix-It, was invited to the announcement ceremony due to his personal connection, let's say, with the fallen premier hero, Ricochet, your grandson. As the premiere announcement ceremony is happening ostensibly now, we left off with a bit of a cliffhanger, but we're going to go back a little bit prior to that. While we left off with some explosions happening, things getting really intense, we didn't really see why that happened. We kind of zoomed forward to show that that is what would happen. But now that we return to the event center proper at the proper time, I think what we see is a bit of a exciting moment. It is the equivalent of the red carpet for the superhero world and life in this setting. There is a gaggle of various media people who have gathered outside of the event center. Some are taking pictures, some are taking videos. There are some interviews with some of the more famous heroes that have showed up to participate in the event. You see maybe an interview happening. We see like the camera kind of pans over. We're looking down on this. We see maybe a few faces that we recognize. If you're familiar with the setting, one of the writers is here, Carbon Rider, decked in their kind of pillbug aesthetic, shiny chrome outfit. It shows a little bit of the lower mouth, and they're talking to one of these interviewers. We see a lavish, elongated, stretched limo, pure white wall tires, jet black tinted windows that pulls up, and Paragon steps out and there's a kind of roar that goes across the crowd. The dark-skinned, white-outfitted man sort of covers his eyes to the bright lights before offering a charismatic smile and waving to the crowd. And we see a couple of his proteges step out. A hero by the name of Snow Angel, and another hero by the name of... make sure I get names right so I don't sound like... by the name of Prestige, who is Paragon's, let's say, second at the moment. And while these individuals are kind of getting out, we're seeing them mill and mix with the crowd. After this elaborate stretch limo pulls away, we see a chunky Winnebago pull up. Not Winnebago. Is it? Yeah, it's a Bago, right?
Yeah, no, it's a Winnebago.
Yeah. And I would like to
The Bago.
I'd like to you two to describe getting out of the Bago for us, and what this looks like for everyone.
You want to go ahead first, Wave?
No, you go first, because Wave wouldn't go first.
Perfect. All right. So
if you guys want, like, you guys would be pulling up, and so there'd be this moment in the Bago before either of you get out, as there's like the flashing of the cameras at the front door and everything.
All right.
If you want a moment prior to getting out, absolutely take it. Scenes you
perfect.
too.
It's even better. So probably like 2 cars back before Paragon gets out. The entire time, Mr. Fix-It has just been complaining about his new suit that he's wearing for Paragon, saying it's either too tight, it's itchy, it's uncomfortable in certain spots. TMI, basically. And just, I don't know if Wave's been interacting with him or not, like talking back, having a conversation. If not, he still has been talking to you this entire time.
Wave has been answering, but it's very clear they are completely overwhelmed by everything that's going on. So,
can I roll mundane for that? For Pierce the Veil?
Yeah, that would be Pierce the Veil, or I would allow comfort or support here. Could also make sense. Because there's certain aspects where it's like fairly obvious what's going on and why he's feeling that way. So I think comfort or support could be could also make sense here. It's whichever you think.
Okay, but it's I'm gonna try comfort and support And since Wave is one of either the love or the rival, I'm not gonna say which, of the Bull's Heart for Mr. Fix-It, I get a +1 since they're influenced by me and I'm influenced by them.
Oh yeah.
So this is just gonna be a flat roll then.
Ooh.
8, a hit.
8, that is a hit. So, do you have it pulled up, or do you need me to read off for you?
Could you please read it out for me?
All right, 1 second.
I should get the basic.
Yep, it is. I generally recommend having I generally recommend having it up. I did not have it up, so this is also partially on me. I forgot to pull up my basic moves and my GM sheet, so that partially on me there. Getting back in the swing of it. There they are. Hello? There we go. Comfort or support. On a hit, they hear you. They mark potential, clear condition, or shift labels if they open up to you. So what does this look like? How are you trying to support here? And for you, Wave, if you choose to open up and like reveal or talk about your feelings here with Mr. Fix-It, then you may either mark potential, clear condition, or shift your labels.
I think Fix-It finally clocks that you're given the okay responses that he's used to hearing from his son and at one point his grandson.
More your son than your grandson.
Yeah, more than the son. The grandson was really listening. The son's like, yeah, Dad, sure, I got you. But he looks over, he's like, hey kid, you all right?
Like, so Wave turns their head slowly after clocking in that you're actually regarding them fully now. And they just turn their head slowly towards you and sort of turn in the seat a little bit. And it's kind of almost like visible that they're kind of shaking a little bit. And it's just like, and then they take a minute to think about it and they go, Fix-It, I shouldn't be here.
What? No, of course you should be here. What are you talking about? You helped us get that raccoon guy. You know, you stood up. You're just starting out.
It's true. I mean, that was one of the coolest things I've ever done. But
and you were good at it. You know, I saw you got a lot of them. And
he starts snapping his fingers.
Those you call them the tweets.
You got yes.
the updoots. You got a lot of them.
Yeah, the selfie was pretty helpful too, right? But I shouldn't. No, I shouldn't be here. I don't.
Why are you thinking that? What have you done that shows you shouldn't be here?
It's not me. It's my dad.
Okay. What about your dad? Wait, you got a curfew? Oh shit!
No, I'm an adult. Fix it. I'm an adult.
Oh, he like wipes sweat off his brow.
No, I don't want people to know who my dad is. I don't want people to make that association. I don't want anything to draw back and ruin what would happen here tonight because of people who could figure out who my dad is.
Well, who's your dad? He can't be that bad.
They turn pale completely.
Well, do you have your mask on? Like, are you in full suit?
No,
because I thought we suited up before this. Like,
they have their mask off in the car.
Okay,
because they can just take it off. But like, they are completely pale and 1,000 yards staring you in the eyes. It's like, my dad is a pretty bad guy. Was a pretty bad guy.
This would be a Pierce the Veil.
Gotcha. All right. It's still flat.
Or Pierce the Mask, not Pierce the Veil. Yeah, so flat mundane.
Yeah. I've seen if I had a passive move that would help me with that too.
Stand it.
Oh my god.
All right,
I finally get to roll well.
Pierce the Mask. On a 7 to 9, you get to ask 1. So what are you really planning? What do you want me to do? What do you intend to do? How can I get your character to blank? And I think the answer is, how can I get your character to actually reveal who the dad is? I think that's what we're going for here. Am I right with that?
Yeah, pretty much.
Could I change it a little bit?
Yeah,
Could I get
yeah.
the character to what?
Yeah,
Could
yeah.
I get the character to be comfortable? What could I do to
Ooh,
make
yeah.
the character comfortable?
That is what that option is what can I do to insert creative option here. So I was just suggesting, you are absolutely right. So in that case, like that question goes to you guys.
In this moment, because it's not unobvious that Wave somewhat appreciates Mr. Fixit's influence and position in their life, they need to know that you're not going to drop them like a rock in this moment.
Mr. Fixit is going to carefully reach a hand out to your shoulder and then like kind of pause, asking for permission with his eye, like, is it all right?
There is no turning you away.
He puts a hand on your shoulders like, hey kiddo, I can be the first to contest that there are a lot of bad dads out there. Hell, I'm one of them if you ask my kiddo. But another thing, I appreciate that. But another thing is, a child doesn't pay the sins of their father. It doesn't matter who your daddy is. I'm here for you. The team's here for you. Ain't no one gonna be mad at you for who your daddy is. Don't worry about that.
They turn their head away, and it's almost a mumble, but it's audible. It's like, even if my dad was Magnitude.
Even if your dad was Magnitude, yeah, of course. But, I mean, granted, do I want to get the guy who's dressing up as that sorry son of a bitch and he starts going to like a really angry rant about what happened at the funeral, and then it's like getting really hyped up in the car, just gripping the steering wheel. It starts to crack again. It's covered in electrical tape as it's been fixed multiple times, and he starts to calm himself down. But that's not, you're not him. You're not, you didn't, I saw you weren't dressed up as who you say your daddy was, Magnitude. You know, you were protecting civilians as a good person should.
And
that's what matters.
I'm not lying to you either. That is my dad. Was my dad.
I think there's like a moment of like actual pause. It's like, 100% was your dad. That wasn't Magnitude at the funeral.
No, my dad is dead.
Right. Yeah, they're dead. They're both dead. Yep. It's just He's gonna look forward a bit.
Fix it. It's why I don't want to be here. Someone knows who I am. It could take away from everything. My dad was an absolute monster, and I despised him. I thought your grandson was one of the most inspiring people I'd ever seen. I don't want to tarnish the memory of such a great person just by being there.
Oh, all right. You can stop there right now. My Ricky would not say anyone who stands up for what's right is tarnishing anything of his. Ain't gonna stand for no slander. You hear me, boy?
Okay.
You're doing a great job. And hell if they find out if your father's Magnitude. What are they gonna do? They're gonna say, hey, this man's bad because of someone else, what they did. Just do what you can to prove them wrong. I know you can. You don't even have to try. You could just continue what you're doing and be like, hey, shut up. You can't let others control how you view yourself. That's what I told Ricky. Ricky loved going and saving people, and he's like, Gramps, how do you do it? You're big and strong, and I just over here, I can just, flick myself real fast forward, and I'm like, well, yeah, but if you keep going fast, you'll do it. You'll be faster than anyone else, and he was, and he did that to save people. And listen, you have. I've seen what you can do. You can kind of warp the stones. That's amazing. That's amazing, Quinn. You stopped all that rubble from crushing them civilians on that funeral day. You got all them critters out of the holes so they couldn't jump us in the middle of it all. You're doing good work. And that's all we can really ask for you. You should be proud of that. Proud of yourself.
There is no response, but they just kind of put their mask back on and just look to the side.
I think narratively that is when you get the like hand signal from one of the valets to like pull up, and you have no more chance to sort of think about it. You're just pulled into it, and it's a couple minutes, but it feels like seconds, as before any amount of time really passes in your mind, you are in front of a large crowd of flashing lights, and a mic is shoved in between the two of you.
Oh no.
A interviewer kind of goes, hello, Mr. Fix-It, and the new up and coming hero you are, and holds the mic out to you.
They completely freeze up, and they just kind of like turn their head to the side and lean close and wave index.
Hello, yeah, and they kind of look at the camera. This is Wave Index. I'm here with Mr. Fix-It and Wave Index. Mr. Wave Index, Mrs. Wave Index?
Anything. It's
Wave Index. What do you? Holds the mic out to you. What have you done? What have you done recently? Why have you been invited here for the Prestige meeting tonight?
Along with Mr. Fix-It, I helped stop a small-time criminal in the points over towards where the wash is.
There's a flash of recognition. Oh, the two of you. My apologies, looks back at the audience. These two here are the recent people who solved the, well, I guess mystery, but also stopped the series of break-ins that were happening on the border of the Wash. Mr. Fix-It being an age-old hero from the first generation, one of the last true heroes, and Wave Index being one of the new generation. It's really nice to see the two of you working together. Are you two on a team now?
Yes, along with our other amazing teammates who aren't here right now, but
young and old, it's lovely to see. Well, thank you very much for giving us a moment of your time. We'll see you in there, and I hope you have a lovely announcement ceremony. And once again, I would like to express from the people of the city and from myself personally, thank you for everything that you do. And looks at you when they say this, Mr. Fix-It. Thank you for the sacrifices that you make for the community that you live in.
Mr. Fixie just gives a solemn nod back to that response.
Turns back at the camera, and next we have an interview with Snow Angel, and begins to make their way over towards one of Paragon's proteges. And the two of you begin to make your way in. I think we see the camera kind of zooming out as you walk towards the lit entrance of the community event center, and as you sort of pass the threshold, the camera's going to do like a turn, like a real quick spin while we're looking down on it, and while it spins, the entrance turns into a different entrance, and we see three people walking out of the I guess intake center, the information center of the Evergreen Arboretum. The three individuals we see stepping out are our other three heroes. Our Aurora, our Wave Index, or our Wink, and our Rain. How are the three of you dressed? You guys are, I think we established that you guys are just spending a kind of chill evening together at the Evergreen Arboretum. A little bit of team bonding time. Are you guys in your outfits? Are you in your casual clothes? Anyone who's feeling it can take it. Otherwise, if y'all, yeah, go ahead.
I think that we were all in casual wear when we started that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm just wearing what I normally wear because
Mm-hmm.
really
Yeah, for you that makes sense. For you that makes sense for sure.
Aurora may or may not, depending on how long they spent in places and stuff, may have gone on a little bit of a shopping thing for the rain. Just a few things, not too much.
So
Not
you
like
two are kind of
crazy baggage.
post your shopping spree.
Wink
What-
third wheeling.
Yeah, wink third.
Wink is totally also getting thrown outfits that Aurora's like, you should totally try this on. Or this on.
Yeah,
or
Wink,
this on."
would you have gone on the shopping trip with them before the Evergreen?
Yeah, I mean, he would have, probably jumped at the opportunity to get to know his teammates a bit better, so he'd probably be out there with them.
Aurora, what's your favorite boutique?
Aurora has their own favorite boutique, but because of how they are as a person, they would try and think of like different types of boutiques, because their own style is all pink and fluffy and blues and pastels and stuff like that. They know their own style. They wouldn't try to force that onto their teammates. So they would actually introduce the other two to a few places that they could possibly go to get some outfits.
Yeah, as we're in a post-capitalist meritocracy, the way that outfits work is people who have interest in it can just become seamsters or can become clothing designers, and you can get fabric and then begin working at it. And so a lot of the clothing purchasing, there are a few general use stores, but they're mostly like hand-me-downs and or rebuy shops and that kind of thing. A lot of the like boutiques in quote are just people, like personal individuals who are making items for things. Is this the same person who made your superhero outfit, or is this just someone you know, or are you just taking everyone to random places? Are you like places that you know because you're into clothing?
This is a person. These are probably people that I know, like in connections, where it's just like, it's like they did a few outfits for me, but they also do various other styles, and I think that's really, really cool, so I want to make sure to support them and stuff like that. They've been really helpful to me, so I want to just introduce you guys, and basically just introducing Rain and Wink to places that they probably would not have known about that can get them other outfits and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a little strip up here next to the Wrinkly Hound above the Commonwealth University, and I'm gonna. How does Designer's Alley sound to you?
Sounds good to me.
I think that just for the sake of like making sense and also people working together, I think plenty of people have people tend to flock into groups that are good at similar things, and so there's this strip of stores or shops, boutiques, where a bunch of different clothing designers have sort of set up shop and offer services, and I think that y'all go across this like line of shops and buy some outfits and have just generally a nice day, sort of a nice evening, I suppose, getting to know each other. Now that we kind of know generally what's been happening, are there any scenes, moments, things that you want to do with that framing, or do we want to move on from that as just the setup?
I'm gonna give the floor to the other two.
I'm fine with moving on.
Yeah.
I can leave it as a setup.
Yeah, I think that's all we need for that framing. Like, these not super important characters, we just know what we're doing, so we think we see the group of you having a couple bags or things from Designer's Alley as you're walking around the Evergreen Arboretum together. It's a while in the Evergreen Arboretum that you have before something would happen. Because we will go back to the Community Event Center and kind of catch back up till things get a little bit more tense, but I want to give the three of you an opportunity to start a scene here, have a scene here, any little moments between y'all? Any hard framing that you want to give?
For like when we're
Yeah,
doing
while
the
you're walking
garden
around the,
place, right?
the arboretum, the garden,
Yeah.
the community gardens.
I'm definitely much more interested in the gardens aspect, while just kind of mildly amused at all the shopping shenanigans. I'm definitely more active once we get to the gardens, checking out the plant life and everything. Start trying to talk to some squirrels and birds and things, and
I think you had kind of established last time that you were like sort of arbitrating a disagreement between a couple of the fauna here.
yeah.
And I think we sort of catch back up with that. What about I think that makes a lot of sense. I think we see Rain sort of like floating about a little bit more in her element in the sort of open natural side of the city. What about the other two? Do you have like a chat moment while it's just the two of you walking? We have a moment between Wink and Aurora.
Wink is probably just, he's got like a Starbucks equivalent coffee probably, and has just been sipping on that throughout the day, probably holding bags for them.
I think Aurora would try to spark up a conversation. I'm just blinking as a person.
Yeah,
I know that they're very
it doesn't have
social.
to be. It doesn't have to be deep roleplay if you don't want. It can be more in the sense of like, we can just kind of talk about, unless something comes to mind, we can just kind of talk about what the kind of things that you're talking about, what the kind of scenes there are. This game doesn't have to be hard roleplay every single moment. It can be talking about what kind of things that you want your characters to open up about, what kind of scene that you might want your characters to have with each other.
Yeah, Aurora probably starts kind of prodding gently about like them as a person, and like it's like what did they do before the hero stuff and that kind of stuff, but won't prod too hard if they are closed up about it. So
I think that's a good question for Wink. How much does Wink open up about things prior to the recent stuff?
I think he'd be pretty open and honest about it. He doesn't really have a lot to hide as a person. He would probably explain that before all of this, when his powers manifested, he was living out in the woods, not really doing much of anything. But before that, he was volunteer militia, volunteer firefighter. None of those things never really went anywhere, though. So he was sort of sidelined for the most part on both of those things, but he did do it.
Aurora would probably be concerned about the living in the woods part, but due to the powers and understanding that, I think their next probing question would be like, is the labs doing anything for that to like help where they can?
Oh, you mean the research facility, like him working with the lab? Yeah,
yes.
I think we'd kind of established for a quick touch on that. We'd kind of established that they're in the process. They're working on it. Currently, we have the alarm solution, but I do have a thing for that moving forward. But yeah, I think that's all Wink knows about at the moment.
Okay.
Actually, I'm writing something down really quick because you reminded me of something.
Damn. Yes, but Wink would just, in the affirmative, be like, yeah, the suit has like a built-in alarm that will wake him up whenever he sets the time for it. But for the most part, they're still looking into things. But it's stable enough now that he can do hero work.
You've
Aurora
worked with
smiles
it,
at
you've
that.
practiced enough, yeah, that where you feel confident to be able to handle it. Aurora smiles at that. You were go ahead.
Oh yeah, sorry. Aurora seems very happy about that.
I think as we see the two of you kind of chatting, I think we see you talking about like, oh, you know, what things can they do for you in the future? What do they currently have set up right now? I think that is where we're gonna pull back to the other crowd, because right now this is just more of a setup scene, and the action will happen pretty shortly after we pick back up with the others. So I'll give you one last little opportunity. Any of the three of you want to do any more as we just kind of see them walking around the Arboretum and spending time with each other as a team? In that case, we will move back to the others. Back at the community event center, things have been going for a little bit. There is, it is the equivalent of like it's somewhere in between like a like high school or college graduation ceremony and like a wedding rehearsal as for the vibes here. There are people that are dressed up nice, there's food, there's a lot of sort of schmoozing, tables with specific seating set up. It's almost like it has like some minor award ceremony energy to it at the moment. So there's this general buzz about the room as people are excited to find out who the next premier hero is. People are excited to find out about the various groups that have been working. People are excited to see who's going to make the announcement. And what are Wave and Mr. Fix-It doing?
I assume we're sitting with Paragon's table.
I think that makes sense. I think because you were there's the +1/+1, so you guys would be seated at Paragon's table. Currently, the seating isn't happening. Like the sit down part hasn't happened. It's just this sort of like milling moment where everyone can sort of like brush shoulders and chat with each other. So, giving you the opportunity, if there's a hero you want to go up and talk to, that there are a bunch of different people around the room. Paragon is not currently with you. Paragon is currently chatting with a couple of other individuals at the far end of the room. It doesn't take you too long to kind of pick up on who they are. One, because you recognize your son, Robert, as you see Paragon is talking with Robert Bobbert II, as well as another individual who you may or may not recognize. I don't know if you would, but I'll give you the opportunity to potentially. How on top of technology and modern innovations is Mr. Fix-It?
0.
Yeah, I kind of figured, but I still wanted to give you the opportunity. You know what I mean?
For sure.
What about you, Wave?
Despite the fact Wave has a very broken phone, mostly due to their own powers, they are fairly aware of modern technology. Like
they are not aware?
They're fairly aware of how modern technology does.
I misheard audio processing. In that case, I think I will say that you do recognize who this individual is. It's kind of like, it's the equivalent of recognizing who, like, Steve Jobs or Bill Gates is. Not quite the same level of capitalism behind them, as she's a little bit more altruistic, but you do recognize who this individual is. She's an majorly important individual in the tech side, in the tech industry. Her name is Stacy Cobb, and Cobb phones are very popular. They are very similar. They are a cell phone, but they can be generally attached to the wrist, and there's like a like little light heads up display that when you tap, kind of like the Spy Kids wristwatch things, like when you tap it, a little like phone display, like hologram phone display comes up. Phone on the Cobb is how it's sold. Yes, Cobb phones. They're very popular. They're very common. They've become more popular and more common in recent years. But you recognize Paragon is speaking with her, with this Stacy Cobb. I think you might be a little like maybe confused why she is here. I think would be the main thing that would stand out to you, but you would still recognize her.
No, Wave holds no like adoration for her, or doesn't hate her, but like the confusion's there. Doesn't know why she's here, you know. It's interesting.
What do the two of you do? Are you kind of staying to yourselves? Are you trying to brush shoulders with anyone, or are you just waiting for the event to continue? All of these valid options.
Wave is still very nervous, so they're kind of sticking to Mr. Fix-It wherever he goes, just for comfort, really. But you know,
Mr. Fix-It is staying away from the crowds. Almost like a similar vibe to what Wave's like, oh no, I don't want to be in a crowd, and I need to stay close to Mr. Fix-It. Mr. Fix-It's like, oh no, I don't want to be near a crowd. That's where people are. So he's walking away and like staying like close to the edge of the wall, and just like holding a cup and trying not to make it obvious that he is very interested in whatever Paragon and the Sun is talking about.
Yeah.
Doesn't know who that other person is. Has no clue.
Yeah. I think while you're kind of you keep looking over, but you're kind of avoiding people. You notice that there's another group of heroes that are kind of milling in a corner. A group of 4 heroes that are sort of staying away from the rest of the crowd. You would definitely recognize one of them. It's up to y'all whether or not you recognize the other 3. But one of them is Snow Angel, also known as Harper Paragon. She is Paragon's other protege, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm.
The other 3 individuals, how on top of supers are you? How on top of like modern superheroes are you all? I imagine Wave is, right?
Very, because Wave idolizes superheroes. So
yeah, you recognize 2 of the others, not the third one. The third one is very, I think, generic, nondescript guy. He almost looks like he would almost look just like a dad, except for the fact that he has like a mask on, and so you wouldn't immediately recognize him as a hero if it weren't for the mask. But he's talking with Snow Angel, and the other 2 who you see, one of them, they've changed their name quite a few different times, but currently they go by Lost and Found. And the last one is an up-and-coming superhero by the name of Big Iron. And you kind of clock the 3 of these. Big Iron is from a capitalist holdout zone that recently moved to the area and has been making a relatively big name for themselves due to their physical strength and capabilities. You recognize another strong individual, Mr. Fix-It, I think, even without knowing who they are. But there's this other group of heroes that's sort of just milling in the corner and kind of staying away from the crowds. But other than that, there are a bunch of other heroes that are sort of chatting. You notice Carbon Rider is sort of posted up against a wall and is just sort of leaning and drinking a beer and almost sort of like watching over the room. Any places y'all go? Any other, like, are there any interactions, I guess, is the best way to ask this. Are there any interactions you want to have? Either between each other or with any of the people here?
Is Carbon Rider close to where we are, or is he just sort of like away?
I would say yeah. He's posted up on a wall and is just sort of like head, not really on a swivel, but is just observing the room.
So Wave will look back and forth between Mr. Fix-It and Carbon Rider, and then we'll just sort of softly and very sheepishly walk over towards Carbon Rider, right?
Mm-hmm. Carbon Rider
And, we'll
clocks you pretty quickly and doesn't like set the beer down, but like it drops by their waist as they turn to face you.
Wave walks up, and the pace slows dramatically as they get close, but then in a final burst of confidence, sort of steps forward and looks at Carbon Rider and sort of just shakily extends their hand and is like, to meet them.
You're the new hero, yeah? And holds out their hand to shake yours.
Yeah, they grab Carbon Rider's hand and they nod and they're like, yeah, I'm one of the new heroes, yeah.
Yeah, we passed each other outside of the suits entrance. Carbon, one of the riders. It's nice to make your acquaintance more officially.
Wave Index. I followed your guys' work. You're all incredible, genuinely.
Smiles a little bit. Yeah, our riders are pretty incredible.
Yeah.
They almost seem like they like look off in the distance. They almost seem a little wistful as they say that.
Wave just watches them and is like shakily like reaches into their pocket and is like, I know we're at a thing, but just pulls out like a little pen. It's just like, would you mind? I've kind of been a fan for a little while.
Yeah. What do you want signed?
Just opens up their jacket and points to where their vest is. This would do, I guess.
They smile at you, and rather than reaching for the pen, that you watch as they reach out for the jacket just with like a finger outstretch.
Yeah.
And at the last second, the hand starts just like vibrating extremely fast, and they scorch their initials into the inside of the jacket.
Okay. Thank you.
Won't come out in the wash.
No, it won't. I appreciate that. It's almost like staring at it with reverence for a second, and then nods with a bit of a smile. Thank you. I appreciate that, Carbon Rider. You're keep up the good work. You know.
Kind of looks you up and down. You do the same, eh?
I'll do my best.
Nods
And
reaches over and there's a small table nearby where there are a few unopened beers that have been set up, so he wouldn't have to move, but he reaches one out, grabs one, and hands it out towards you.
Wave takes it. Wave takes it, and in the short transfer, there is a slight vibration through the can.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You notice that the beer does not match any of the other beers in the place. It's a Sapporo.
Ooh.
Fucking love
I love that beer.
Sapporos.
Me too.
Fucking love Sapporos.
Wave looks it over and cracks it open and takes a sip and smiles and then sort of like wanders away back towards Mr. Fix-It afterwards.
You kind of look back. He holds up the beer at you.
Wave holds it back in turn.
What about Fix-It? What does Fix-It do during that moment?
During that moment, I think Fix-It is just kind of watching the crowd. He's entirely forgotten, or if Paragon has told him who the premier hero is and who he's supposed to say on stage, or if They have not. Either way, he feels like Paragon has told him, and he's like anxious now because he thinks he forgot.
You see
And it's just
Paragon
like,
while you're kind of like nervous. You keep looking over at Paragon, and Paragon actually turns and makes their way over towards that group of heroes that's kind of in the corner, and sort of like says hi to Snow Angel, but then like shakes the hand of the other three, who you actually would have noticed probably would have traveled with Paragon, and then kind of turns to introduce that Cobb lady to the rest of them, and would at one point kind of turn towards you and wave you over.
Vixen would definitely walk on over. This kid's all right. Look to his right, not see him, and shrug, and then go to Paragon.
Robert Bobbert II just sort of gives you a very firm nod as you approach. Paragon will put a hand or an arm over your shoulder and kind of give you a big squeeze. The only one who can kind of pop your bones when they give you a squeeze instead of the opposite. As he pulls you closer to them. Hey there, good to see that you're still hanging about. I know I asked you to make the announcement, but I would have completely understood if you had to disappear on us. So glad you're still here.
Yeah, of course, Perry. Of course, a man is his word. He's got to keep it.
Ain't no thing, man. This over here, I know you know Snow Angel, but this is Everyman, and this is Lost and Found, and this is Big Iron, and I don't know if you've met, but this is Miss Cobb. Miss Cobbwood. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. She reaches out to shake your hand.
Vixen will shake their hand and say, pleasure to hear it, ma'am, and we'll give it like a little not a hit, not like a kiss, but like a little head to the forehead thing. Just not knowing what to do in this kind of situation.
The moment you shake her hand, it's almost like her skin glows in response. Like there's a luminescent sort of bioreactive response when you touch her skin. It almost seems to like ripple with light as the two of you shake hands. And it seems like a normal thing. She just sort of smiles and moves on from it.
It's great to meet all of you. What was it, Big Iron? You look like a big fella. It's like kind of slaps his hand on his shoulder, just shakes him a little bit.
Big Iron, who is dressed in sort of like a cowboy style outfit, and they actually do have a couple of horns that seem to be growing out of their head, just sort of gives you a bit of a, not really nervous, but a bit of just a stoic nod. Before Paragon kind of lowers their voice and leans in, like placing a hand on your shoulder and leaning in. Hey, just so you know, I don't. The announcement is supposed to be kind of a surprise, but these four here, these are going to be the new premiere.
Oh, great! Yeah. Okay, yeah. Surprised, just relieved he didn't forget.
I wanted to give you a chance to meet them before you made the announcement.
Oh, pretty sure we got Miss Cobb, Big Iron, we got Angie, Snow Angel. He like gives a nod to Snow Angel. Who was the last one again? I'm sorry.
There are two. So it's Big Iron, and you can actually see it in the on the page where all the names are. You can actually see it in under poster children are the names, and I'm changing the last one because it's they did the silly name for themselves. There you go.
Got it. Everyman, Lost and Found, Snow Angel, Big Iron. Guys. He starts like repeating that under his breath almost to like so he remembers it on stage.
And it's kind of like as you're kind of doing that memorization, there's the shaking of hands. Robert Bobbert would make a I'd like to begin the announcement ceremony if it's okay with you. Paragon just sort of like, yeah, totally fine. You need any more time?
No, we should have this. We should have this. Right, Robert.
He just
Looking
nods
over
at
his-
you, and Stacy goes, "I'll take care of it, don't you worry." And she waves her finger in the air, and the lights in the room sort of flicker, do the sort of like dimming and then brightening thing. The general indicator for, hey, go take your seats. As people, sort of disperse and dissipate into the various seats, and Robert begins to make their way, Robert II begins to make their way up to the crowd. There's a little, like, platform, a little stage where he can kind of stand up and look down, leans into a microphone. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for coming here today and being part of this announcement ceremony as we transition to the next stage of life here in our city. As many of you may know, or may not know, my name is Robert, and I am the father of the recently passed hero Ricochet. Now, it would normally be the honor of the retiring premier hero to pass the torch, so to speak. But in our line of work, safety and defense of the city, we know that that can't always be the case. I'd like to take a moment, close our eyes, and thank the heroes. And he kind of pointedly looks at you, who give their lives to defend the city, Mr. Fix-It, as he then continues scanning the crowd. Our city has changed a lot in the last several decades, and it is with that change that we would like to continue progress moving forward, and takes a deep breath. And the general future of our city. I, as the head of the council for the Association for Community Assistance in Banking, would like to inform all of you that we are making a structural change to the Premier Hero position. No longer will we put that pressure on a singular person. No longer will we be forced to watch as one person struggles with all that pressure and all that weight. Coming up is my father, commonly known as Mr. Fix-It, to announce the new Premier Hero team for the city of New Columbia. Thank you. And holds the mic out, and there's like a smattering of applause, but holds the mic out towards you, Mr. Fix-It.
Fix-It on the walking up will applaud for his son's like,
Thank you, Robert. I appreciate it. A big round of applause for my boy.
Another
Well,
small smattering of applause as he takes a couple steps back.
As he said, hello, everyone. I'm Mr. Fix-It, Robert Bobbert. I've been in the game for a bit, took my step back, letting the new generation step forward and take their turn, let them have the torch. I'm here to announce a good thing today. Sadly, my grandson couldn't be here with us to do this himself, but we're gonna make better changes for it, like Robert said. And the changes we have are these wonderful Primeros, and we've got,
it will just go on as a very clunky, explaining everyone what he knows of them and the quick like conversation they had as best as he can.
Yeah. I would like you to roll me a, this might not be traditional, but roll me a comfort or support here. Or a persuade with best interests. Either or.
Is that still a mundane?
Superior is actually persuade with best interests.
I would like to do that one. That's better than a -1. The 0 is still better than a -1.
Persuade with best interest is a team move, so it will spend a team, which is fine. It's just you got one at the beginning of the session anyways, so it works out.
Perfect. A 9.
A 9. So with persuade with best interest, roll superior. If they're an NPC on a 10+, they buy it and act accordingly. On a 7 to 9, they need concrete assurance right now. So the crowd is definitely a little hesitant. In what way do you show that team and having teamwork is the right move moving forward? In what way do you kind of sway or win the crowd here? Or do you not?
It's a rough one.
I mean, it could be as simple as, like, I'm in a team now, right? And, like, you know, announcing to the to the crowd, like, in order to show my belief in, like, a team sort of situation. Like, that could, we could lean that direction for it.
I got you. I think he starts to go after rambling off the list of everyone and their qualities. And he's like Robert said, teamwork is important. We can't put all this pressure on one person anymore. You know, like I said, I'm trying to pass the torch on the next generation, so I've joined my own team for a little bit just to guide them and show them the ropes. You know,
there's
so
a little
they're
bit of like
more equipped.
There's a little bit of like murmuring in response to that. People are like, Mr. Fix is joining a team like a fish. And as the whispering kind of goes out and you finish up, there's an actual like firm applause. And you finish up with your announcement. Robert kind of makes their way up behind you, and maybe for the first time in a while, you feel your son's hand on your shoulder as he places it there before stepping up to the mic. Thank you all for coming.
The mic open.
And thank you, Father, for the lovely announcement. Food and drinks will be here for the rest of the evening. You're welcome to spend time and continue interacting with the folks here at Paragon, and I will be around for the rest of the evening to field any questions you may have. Thank you. And begins to walk off stage. But as they walk off stage, they pointedly look over their shoulder and like make eye contact with you, Mr. Fix-It, and then sort of like gesture with their head over towards a wall.
Fix-It will very clumsily put the mic back in its stand and start to wander over to his son. We'll actually first look in the crowd for Wave.
Yeah, where's Wave at? How's Wave doing right now?
Wave is sort of in their designated spot. They seem to be doing okay. Because like we're all supposed to have like an area where we quote unquote sit, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Wave is in their
at Paragon's table.
So Wave is at their seat at the table, feeling completely underqualified for the position. But they're doing okay.
There's definitely like lights go on over the newly announced premiere heroes as you see them all kind of freeze, and a bunch of people move up and start wanting to talk with them. And fortunately, probably for you, any sort of light or attention that was on Paragon's table is currently gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then you make
your
way
over.
I'm
watching Mr. Fix-It.
Yeah, you watch Mr. Fix-It, and you see Mr. Fix-It make their way over towards a wall to meet with Robert for a second. He breathes, takes a look, and kind of leans and looks out a window nearby, looks up at the sky, before looking back at you. I want you to leave.
What? Like the event?
Yes. I did not choose for you to be here. Paragon went over my head and had you make the announcement.
Can I roll mundane for Pierce the Mask?
Yeah, you can roll mundane for Pierce the Mask.
Perfect. It's my son, so I'm gonna roll poorly. Oh, what?
Nah.
Oh shit.
Full hit. So, you get to ask 3 questions. What are you really planning? What do you want me to do? What do you intend to do? How could I get your character to blank, and how can you gain influence over them?
What do they want me to do is probably a first one.
What do they want you to do? They do genuinely want you to leave. But I will say, you don't think that they want that for the reasons that they are expressing or you would traditionally expect. There is not the same tone of like dismissal that they normally have. There's almost a tone of concern, but they do want you to leave.
With the concern, there was, I think it's going to be, what are you planning then?
What is he really planning? I think you see the way... So I think the thing that stands out is your son is a very practical person. Is a very, like, head down, nose to the ground, grindstone kind of mentality. He is not the type to... And this is like an odd thing to point out, but he's not the type to wistfully look up at the sky. It's a very... It to someone who isn't his father, it would seem like a perfectly normal action. For you, it definitely felt odd. And you kind of follow his gaze, and in the distance, up in the sky, you think you see like the silhouette of 1 or 2 individuals, like up in the sky, floating, as if flying. And to answer the question, what are they really planning? They are planning... So I guess to answer the question without fully revealing things, they are definitely planning something beyond just being here in the evening, right? There is some sort of event, I guess, or thing or deal or engagement that they have planned with whoever those individuals are. You can see up in the sky.
All right. And I get a third question?
You get a third question.
Oh, jeez. I feel like what do you tend to do is just what are you really planning? The same thing, right?
Yeah, no, but they are different. They are different.
Okay.
What do they intend to
think
do? I think you see them looking around, and you all, again, you know your son very well. He may not have powers the same way you do, but he is a hero. You see him looking at exits. You see him looking at rooms. You think that he is intending to jump into action here shortly. He is, the way he's sort of tensed right now, he is both planning and is intending something something big and something potentially dangerous. And he is planning on participating or engaging in that very fully. I think the last part of Pierce the Mask here is you notice that underneath his suit, his attire for the evening, is a mesh fiber suit that is very commonly worn by firefighters and that kind of person. It disperses impact, it's fire resistant, they're in their ready gear.
Robbie, what are you doing? Just kind of almost not square up with his son, but stand, not slouching. Bobbert, old man, slouches all the time, but when he stands up straight, he is 6'2", 6'3", broad shoulders, beer gut's still there, that doesn't go away. But does stand up straighter, is Robbie, what did you get yourself into?
Robert is your son, but physically still takes a little bit after his mother. Not quite as tall as you, in the 5'11" range.
Yeah.
Lean, athletic individual. But nonetheless, he puffs his chest out and turns to face you, unafraid. I'm making a point. And if you don't want more people to get hurt, you'll leave.
I don't deal with threats real well, you know that.
It's not a threat. People will get hurt if you stay. I didn't know you were going to be here. I found out last minute. You have a choice to make.
Is there a way to tell that? Oh, fuck. This. I think he's gonna look him dead in his eyes. And is going to turn and go to Wave. And start walking towards Wave.
You see him exhale, almost relieved. Wave, you've been watching this.
Eyes are locked.
Yeah, it turns to look at Wave all right, okay. Oh, there he is. Yep, staring right at me. All right. Start walking towards Wave. And then we'll look back at his son. Is there a way to tell if he's lying or it's full of gusto? Is that another Pierce? I know there's not an insight
Pierce the Mask is the closest. Roll me assess the situation. Also plus superior.
Okay, gotcha. Assess the situation. Because we're perfect. Oh, I got this one. I'll make this worse for me.
I make sure to mark potential.
Oh, gotcha. Yep.
Grandpa, no.
Grandpa, no. I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go. I just think he gets the stubborn bull act, and we'll look back at his son, pull the chair very loudly next to Wave, and plop a seat next down to him, and cross his arms and just be not acknowledging Wave now, just angrily glaring at Robert.
So you still have a chance to react, but as Robert turns to see you, you saw him relieved, he thought you were leaving. As he turns to see you, his face turns sheet white, seeing you sit down. You see fear on his face that you did not expect. There is genuine, not just worry, but concern, anxiety, full. You see something in your son's mind crumbling around him as you sit down. What do you do?
I think he's gonna lean over to Wave, kind of now not understand what's going on, and be like, hey, this isn't a you situation, and I don't want to get you involved in family drama, but
if your son says you being around is gonna kill people, do you leave in that situation, or do you just kind of like hold your ground?
And it's just talking to Wave, but like who he considers a child is probably in his 20s or so. I
Yeah.
don't know exactly. Yeah, in his
They're in their
20s, but he
20s.
considers like a kid.
Like, yeah, do you just leave in that kind of situation, or do you like stand your ground?
Slack-jawed 1,000-yard stare at you. It's like,
Yeah.
what?
No, see, it's one of them hypotheticals.
Hang on, roll back. Excuse me.
He mouths at you one last time, please.
Alright, Wave. How about we go to the bagel? I think I left my joint there, and we can talk about it there.
Like half-heartedly, without any like Wave. You can try as much as you want. It's all strength. Picks you up by like the scruff and starts to walk you out towards the door.
I think the two of you just make it to the street corner, just begin to like, you're still near the building when you hear a rumble, and then another rumble, and then crashing into the cement directly in front of you two. And Fix It, you can only imagine what this would have done to the building were you still in it with all the people. But the
That's what.
colossal form of the fully armored Magnitude crashes in front of the two of you, cracking the street and the sidewalks, sending these large lines and ridges deep into the ground. You see some of these cracks go up the side of the building, like it flickers, the lights, screams echo out from inside, and you see Paragon actually begin to, or you are kind of turning, expecting Paragon to turn, like to arrive and to help you, and as you see Paragon smash out of the window to kind of turn to see what's going on, you see another sight. Rocketing from up above, from the clouds above where you saw the two silhouettes, one of them beelines directly to Paragon, and you see Paragon's number one nemesis, a villain by the name of Literal Nemesis, connects with Paragon, and the two of them go careening off into the night. The number one hero meant to protect the event immediately being taken care of and dealt with. You see Snow Angel immediately rocket out to assist, and from the same group that Nemesis works with, Renegade meets Snow Angel, as one by one the premier heroes seem to have been immediately engaged by a group of villains. As Magnitude towers above the two of you, cracks knuckles, and a voice that neither of you recognize, confirming this is not who they appear to be. Time to tie up some loose ends. And we're gonna quickly flash over to the other group here. I'll give you all a second. Shopping. The group of you are
And
over.
Garden.
And Garden, you're over by the Evergreen Arboretum. You've been walking around. You've been, opening up to each other and having some nice conversations. I think we see Rain, if you're okay with this, sort of flying back to the others, having found... Rain, what did you find? Or what's a fun little thing that Rain would have found here in the gardens? Aqua?
Oh no, is Aqua dead?
Rain is dead.
Rain
Sorry,
is dead.
I
No,
forgot
you're
I
all
was
good, baby.
mute.
You're all good, baby. Go ahead.
My bad. No, let's see. I think my audio also might have cut out. what was the next action we were supposed to take?
Oh, not really a next action. So we just flashed over to the so there was the tense moment over by the premiere announcement ceremony.
Oh, okay. Just
And
wanted to make
then-
sure I didn't miss
Yeah,
something.
no. We're back over at the Evergreen Arboretum. I was just saying, I think we see the group of you kind of recollecting as a trio. I think we've seen Wink and Aurora sort of walking along, swapping stories and kind of chatting with each other. And I was going to say we see Rain kind of floating or flying back to the other two, showing off something they found in the garden. I was giving you an opportunity to show off something you found in the garden.
Oh, okay.
And
I don't know that they would necessarily show off per se, but probably come over and like start talking about just the state of things in the garden.
The
and,
show off can be literally like pointing at something behind you. Hey, look at that cool tree or something like that. It doesn't have to be like you holding something. But it could be. What are you talking about? Like you just come up to the others like, what is it? What has excited Rain here?
just seeing the state of care for the plant life and everything here, and just like it, just like mirroring kind of like the efforts of Rain's society in like trying to care for like different like fauna and flora, things like that. So she's just like very excited to see places like this just in general.
Does Rain have like a nice conversation with one of the like local gardeners? Like one of the people one of the groundskeepers for the area walking around?
Oh yeah. No, very passionately start like getting into just like the general care of the different plants and the animals.
I think there's
and
just
the
this
ecology of everything.
I think there's just this like old man with like a janitor looking outfit on who's wheeling around a bunch of like garden supplies, who you just have like the nicest conversation with, right? Like just the loveliest conversation about gardening and conservation work and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and I think that's probably what I would share with the others.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I met this lovely young old man.
I think the thing that you show off is he found a flower head that had fell off like a flower, and he gave it to you.
Yeah, well, I'd be like, oh, it's decapitated. Look,
I found a decapitated flower, or he gave me a nice decapitated flower.
And it's like very oddly worded.
Mm-hmm. And it's as you are kind of meeting back up and sort of catching back up with the group that you all hear the of an alarm happening behind you all. It seems to be coming from the university. And it's kind of echoing over the street, etc. But all of you are superheroes. All of you have super hearing and can sort of pick out that happening. Like immediately as it starts. What do you do?
I gotta look around first, like, wait, what's that noise?
It means that there's danger somewhere.
Wink will sort of just toss away his coffee cup and look to the others. Guess this means we should suit up.
Aurora gives a nod and trying to make sure to pick a spot where they can tuck away somewhere before suiting up.
You guys are fortunately in an arboretum. It's an open, wide sort of garden park area, and there's a bunch of like little nooks and copses and clearings here generally. So the group of you find a spot either together or apart where. What does this in the field suit up look like? Do we get like an anime girl transformation for Aurora?
Aurora definitely has an anime girl transformation.
As your clothing basically gets covered by like hard light armor outfit for you. What about Rain and Wink?
Well, I mean, like I said before, I'm always wearing the same thing. So it's it is. But I'm very impressed, and I start clapping when I see like Aurora do her thing.
Oh, that's so lovely. Do you like kind of mimic it with your like control of your own outfit?
No, not at all. I'm more there like being a fan of Aurora just in general, and just like really excited till I
Amazing.
get to see it in person.
Amazing. So yeah, you finish your transformation and get like a amazing from Rain.
And then, what about Wink?
Wink has his eye mask that he puts on, and it's sort of like a Flash situation where the costume comes out of the mask and just sort of envelops him.
Hell yeah. And three of you outfitted up begin to make your way towards where the alarms are. You quickly find yourselves being... Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, though, instead of suiting up, it's like one of those things, you know, when like someone's getting checked in somewhere and they start like unloading a bunch of like weapons and things like that. Rain starts like taking out like little critters and like animals from different parts of it, and just like putting them back on the ground. And
I think because you're like made of water, right? So I think we see you like walk up to like a little pond, and you're like reaching into yourself, and you're like scooping out goldfish, and you're like, here you go, here you go, here you go.
Yeah, I'm just like, deposit them back, or like, you know, any other little critters that might have like been hiding in any like the nooks and crannies or whatever.
Yeah, there's like three squirrels in there.
My, yeah, it's just like, here you go. Sorry, emergency.
One of the squirrels like holds up their hand at you, just
like pop out some seeds for it, and
it stops.
Go back to everyone else.
And you guys make your way towards where the alarms are blaring. The kind of getting louder as you are led outside of the Evergreen Arboretum and towards the Commonwealth University. You approach, and what do y'all do? What is the... I think immediately upon seeing the situation, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. You just see the building in which the alarms are currently blaring from.
Aurora's probably going to try to assess the situation.
Sounds about right.
In terms of like, even like listening, like basically putting some of the light wings around their ears to heighten their hearing just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like... roll me assess the situation. Plus superior.
Ooh.
Hot diggity. That's a full hit. So you on a full hit, you get to ask me 2 questions. So do you see the list, or do you need me to list out for you?
List it out for me.
So what here can I use to insert creative option? Like that is the creative one. What here can I use to blank? What here is the biggest threat? What here is in the greatest danger? What here is most vulnerable? And how could we best end this quickly?
What is the threat?
What here is the biggest threat?
Yes.
Okay. You are watching the building where the alarms are blaring from, and you see a flash, like a blue blur, sort of creating a line of light across various floors on this building. It's one of the... It is part of the university, but it's one of the buildings that does work with the Independent Research Facility. It's one of the science buildings. And you see what you can only assume to be a speedster moving around on that, through that building. And what you can only assume that is the thing that has caused the alarm.
Okay. What is in the most danger, I think was one of the other questions.
What here is in the most danger? You see that there is a group of security guards who are about to enter the building. And you know how dangerous speedsters can be. They are one of the best at dealing with more mundane individuals, and you think that there is a good chance that if they're allowed to engage this target, they will either end up dead or severely injured.
Gotcha.
Did you ask most vulnerable or greatest danger? I think you asked what's in the greatest danger, so it'd be them, yeah.
Yeah. I asked what the greatest danger.
Yep.
Yeah. So I already asked what is the danger.
Yeah, you asked what is the threat and what is in danger.
Gotcha.
And so that is 2.
What is vulnerable?
Oh, okay. Who here is most vulnerable? So there are a couple ways that. So the intention behind these questions are that they're intentionally kind of vague, and we can kind of interpret them what suits best for the moment. So who here is most vulnerable can either be like who amongst the enemies is the most vulnerable for me to take advantage of that, or to hit them, or to in other ways engage them. Or it can be who here is like the weakest or the most prone to getting hurt and that kind of thing. What is in the greatest danger is either a person, a place, or a thing that is at threat from the current situation.
Gotcha. I can probably save this last question for like
you
forward,
only
right?
get 2. You only get 2.
Oh, okay, I only get 2. Got it.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
cool.
the difference between Pierce the Mask and Assess the Situation. Assess the Situation is 2, Pierce is 3.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Okay. Do you like call
Aurora
out? Do you
will
say
pass
anything?
on-
Yeah, I was gonna say you pass on the information.
Yeah, we'll pass on the information to the other 2, saying that there's a speedster inside. On like what floor they're currently were spotted, but we don't know if they're gonna stay on that floor, seeing as they are a speedster.
Yeah, you kind of see them flashing on different floors as if they're looking for something.
Aurora debates if they should, because they can be on like a floor fast. They're not sure if they should be the one that goes through one of the windows and tries to block one of the areas off, or if they should go to the security guards. That's their current standstill at the moment. They're not sure which to do.
I think
looking at the other 2.
Yeah, I think we hand this to Rain and Wink. Given that information, what do you 2 do?
It's a bad time to be disassociating.
Hey, it is all good. We're reaching the end of it here. We'll probably start the engagement proper and then call it. I know we were gonna quote unquote get to this and finish it this session, but we started a little late. I took my time with the announcement ceremony, and we can pick back up in a more intense and media res next time if you're not feeling it, Aqua.
No worries. No, I just had a badly timed brain fart. Just like, what? No, please. I need you to work.
What about I'll still give you the opportunity, Wink. How would Wink begin engaging with this situation?
Wink would also be absolutely trying to identify, like, okay, he realizes he's essentially a sleep bomb. So, like, what in this situation, or how in this situation, could he use his powers most effectively?
Roll and assess the situation here. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to assess the situation. Is that superior?
Superior, yep.
Skadoosh. That's a full hit.
Hey,
Full hit. Hell yeah. So you also get to ask me 2 questions. What here can I use to blank? What is the biggest threat. So what is the most dangerous thing? What here is in the greatest danger? What here has the highest chance of being destroyed, broken, or killed? Who here is most vulnerable? Who is potentially at the most danger, or who is potentially injured? And then how could we best end this quickly? I think that's going to be your first question.
Yeah, how can we best end this quickly is going to be the first question, definitely.
So it's kind of a two-parter, right? The first part is you actually vaguely remember engaging with probably this speedster before. During the fight, during the combat at the memorial ceremony, there was a moment where you knocked the magnitude clone the fuck out. But there was it's like the last bits of your memory. You remember seeing the speedster move in, pick him up, and before your sleep aura could fully take hold, move out. So you think that you saw it working. You know the sleeps thing will work on this speedster. It does work on speedsters. It's not like they're immune to it. But you have to do one thing. You have to lock the speedster down long enough for it to apply. So the way that you can best end this quickly is if you can in some way isolate them with you in a way that they can't leave. Like if someone can lock them down, or someone can if you can maybe put a bubble over the air. Like there are a bunch of different ways it can happen. But yeah.
My next question will revolve around that in that case. Is there anything around that I could utilize to sort of create that environment where it would be hard for a speedster to escape?
I was gonna say, yeah. What here can I use to blank? Rain and Aurora both have abilities that can potentially assist here. Aurora can make hard light, and that can be potentially used to almost like maze the speedster to where you want them to go. And Rain has water, which can be used
and
to
density abilities, density control.
Exactly, which can be used to slow things down. So if the two of them can in some way coordinate their abilities, and lock this individual down, you can the three of you can end it together.
I think also Rain has the better ability to actually be in close range with you. So, because they don't fall asleep.
Yeah, no.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. It's not something you fully learned yet, but I think this would be a cool moment of Aurora going, okay, I can lock down the area and give you two the best chance inside of the way I kind of see this happening. Aurora, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I see Aurora almost putting a hard light dome, like a stadium dome over the university building, and then Rain and Wink going in to deal with it. Am I kind of reading what y'all are putting down?
Yes, a little bit. Was definitely thinking about also the routing part, where if they see the speedster going in a certain route, they could they're staying outside of the building and keeping an eye on all the levels of the building and just throwing light ribbons,
light walls, light obstacles, trying to basically limit their movement and give the others a chance. So does that sound like it's the right idea for the other two?
Yeah. And also block off where the security guards are.
In that case, starting us off, Aurora, I'm gonna have you I'm gonna have you unleash your powers here. So roll plus freak.
Plus freak, you got it. Let's see. I have. Let's see. Stage fighting. When you directly engage with a threat.
Which y'all are.
Audience watching. I don't think I have an audience.
I would say you do, because there's enough like night college classes that from one of the other buildings you see like a bunch of students like face pressed to the window, cameras out.
Then I will use superior instead of freak.
9, that's a hit. You get a choice here. Are you wanting to so the options here are you can either mark a condition, or I tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary. So you either get the choice of having the effect that what you're going for be a little bit less than what you're going for, or you choose what condition you mark, as the act of doing this is either frustrating you or in some way affecting you emotionally. Which is it?
Okay. I think I would...
So angry, afraid, guilty, hopeless, insecure would be the conditions, and you can either mark one of those or have the effect be weaker. Which do you think it is?
I think I would pick insecure a little bit, because this is a speedster. Despite them having a really good ability to defend against it if a speedster is attacking them, this is something that's a little bit more tricky of how they're using their powers. So they're not sure how it's going to look. It might look a little messy as opposed to as performative as they're used to.
Yeah, so there's almost like it's almost the in front of a crowd, you know that you don't have the time that you normally would like to like make it look pretty and make it a very aesthetic and like, you know, create these awesome, you're just throwing light walls up willy-nilly. And there's that little of like that voice creeping in the back of your head of like that this isn't like who you are, this isn't you aren't living up to your superhero name. And there's that kind of fight back and forth, but you kind of sacrificing that showiness, that flashiness is effective, and you don't lose any efficacy behind it because you took the condition. I think we see as light cuts off their route, you see light cuts off another route, see light cuts off another route, and at one point you're worried, you see them kind of moving down towards the base, like the lowest floor, probably maybe to escape, and it's at that last second that you kind of give the go, and you like point inward, Rain and Wink move in, and I think that's when we see the sort of like light dome that you construct, like as you sort of raise a barrier around the building, for at least for the moment, locking Rain and Wink in. As I'll give Rain and Wink, give me the awesome ass description as the like light barrier goes around, as it is 100% the I'm not locked in here with you, you're locked in here with us, as the two of you walk towards the building.
I think as soon as the light barriers start getting erected, Wink will look up over his shoulder at Rain and just sort of nod in a like follow me sort of gesture.
Rain just has a big smile on her face and just starts floating afterward.
I think we see you float in, you beginning to walk towards, and we see that line of the speedster going from the top floor down towards the bottom floor to meet you. And as we almost like flash inside the building and see their hand reach out to push open the front doors. And it's right as that hand transitions to a different hand, a rougher, larger, scarred worker's hand, as it catches the massive gauntleted fist of Magnitude as they reach in to punch you dead to rights, fix it, but you with your physical strength match it, catching the blow. And that's where we're going to pick up next time.
There you go.
Aw, shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh, damn.
Aw, shit. But thank you all for being here. Really excited to get into the fight proper, and we're really getting into the shtick of it this time. But thank you all for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you, my lovely lovelies, and thank you anyone who came in to watch.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Yee.
Well, let's do some quick outros. Going down the line this time. Let us have. Because we like to do this quickly. I'm not gonna hold y'all for long. Aqua, anything you want to shout out, or mention?
Stay hydrated. Be well, do good. Nothing really at this time, but just it's a pleasure to be here. And
Go
been
follow Aqua. They do awesome art. Hire them.
oh,
Get their art. It's really great. I showed it
Ow.
off on Cazadors. Next we have Wink. Connor, anything you want to shout out?
I mean, I already did all my shilling at the very start here. Yeah, that really it's about it for me, honestly. I'm everywhere at Distortion Devil. You know where to find me.
Yeah. What about you guys? Anything you want to shout out?
Well, y'all take care of each other out there, and y'all be good. And yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Ray? Anything you want to shout out?
Stay hydrated. Have a fabtabulous rest of your day, morning, night, afternoon, evening, wherever you may be. And don't shrimp. Stop shrimping. I know it was you. I know you're shrimping.
Oh
You're sure
God,
right
called
Rim chick.
out.
Why you fucking calling me out like that?
And what about you, Ross?
Everyone eat your vegetables, and if you can, grow your own vegetables.
Yes,
Nom.
that's
better for
that's
you.
really good. That's a really good piece of advice. All right, let's raid y'all out here. Oh, Skelly's doing some drawing. I normally send y'all out to Skelly, so I'll keep that train going. Raid Skillet Alpha, and if you don't know, I'm. Well, thank you, Olska, for being here. I'm Leah. I do TTRPG stuff and and occasionally other games. Thank you for being here. Thank you for finding my channel. Thank you for watching my stuff. And don't forget to love yourself, take care of yourself. As Aqua said, drink water, and remember, free Palestine, and Trump is in the Epstein files.
Throw a brick.